Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about another new card from Dark Order. All of these cards we're talking about at the moment from Dark Order will be released in our February set. Our November set is Lost Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, Lost Thunder's not going to have these cards in. Today, we are looking at a rather exciting item card. It's called Electric Charger. It was revealed on the official Japanese website. It has been translated by the lovely folks over at squeaksgwe.com and by David Hochmann. Got translations from the pair of them this time, so I figured, might as well share it. And it's an item card that looks kind of like a rechargeable battery charger, because that's basically what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, I like it very much indeed. It reads, flip 2 coins. For each head, you can pick up an Electro Power from your discard pile, reveal it, and shuffle it into your deck. Not into your hand, into your deck. Okay, so what's Electro Power? Should probably have a quick reminder of that. Well, Electro Power is an amazing new item card that says each of your lightning Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to the active this turn. So essentially, it's kind of like a choice band, for instance, except it's not a tool card, which means it can't be removed with Field Blower, and there's nothing your opponent can do about it. It just goes, and it also means that you can have other tool cards on there. There's nothing to stop you having an Electro Power and a choice band on, doing an extra 60. The thing is, Electro Power is significantly better than something like Choice Band. Firstly, it allows other tools like Choice Band, like Escape Board, etc. And secondly, you can use multiples of them. You can play 2 of these and do 60, 3 of these and do 90, etc. And lastly, well, you do more damage to non-EXs, non-GXs. Because as good as Choice Band is, and I don't think anyone out there is going to argue that Choice Band is not a phenomenal card, Choice Band only does 30 more to EXs and GXs. It doesn't do any more damage to non-EXs or non-GXs. So you kind of are a little bit limited. This less so. What are the downsides of Electro Power? Well, you can only put 4 in your deck and they're single use only, whereas Choice Band stays until your opponent plays a Field Blower or the Pokemon gets KO'd. And of course, being item cards, you've got Garbodor here, does 20 damage for each item card in your discard pile. That's a little bit of a problem when you're playing many, many item cards. Well, then in comes Electric Charger. An Electric Charger is just one of those cards that's making Lightning Pokemon great. Bearing in mind, right, Lost Thunder is an amalgamation from Japan of Sun and Moon 8, Fairy Rise, and Thunderclap Spark. Okay, 3 sets, a main and 2 mini sets. So, Sun and Moon 7A, Thunderclap Spark, well, that was a lightning themed set. So we got all these lightning themed cards. We'll have a look at them in a little bit. And they really helped out lightning decks. And generally speaking, each type kind of get its own set every so often. It gets a big boost, etc. And it seemed like that was going to be all the great lightning support. But we've already had a look at Tapu Koko Prism Star and Ampharos just yesterday, Ampharos GX, both of which were great for lightning decks. So it seems like lightning decks are just getting better and better and better and better and better. Incidentally, there is a reprint of Electro Power in this set, as well as the fact that it came out in Thunderclap Spark, which is kind of cool. Not terribly relevant, but it means although we're getting it in our November set, Lost Thunder, we might end up actually getting it in our February set as well. So it's a great card. And then in comes Electric Charger. And you flip 2 coins. For each head, you may pick an Electric Power from your discard pile, reveal it to your opponent, and shuffle it into your deck. Now, if we go back to the whole Garbodor issue, unless you flip double heads, it's not really helping against Garbodor. On average, you'll be flipping 1 heads. You will be swapping an item card in your discard pile for an item card in your hand. It's not great in that respect. And also when you play this, the Electro Power go into your deck, they don't go into your hand, so you've got to redraw into it. Although do remember that Alolan Ninetales is seeing a lot of play in Japan and will see over here. This being the new fairy one, whereby when you evolve into it, you can search your deck for 2 item cards and put them into your hand. So you can always use that. The thing is, in Lightning decks, this just seems great. Because Electro Power is just broken. Now, some of you would have been playing back when Plus Power was a thing. Plus Power did an extra 10 damage to the active during the turn, and it was great. And it saw quite a lot of play. This is treble Plus Power in one card. Or it's Choice Band, but also against non-EXs, non-GXs. I mean, there's a million different reasons why this is a particularly good and particularly exciting card. The point is, it's great, we need more of them. And this is exactly what this card does. It gets them back. Now, on average here, each of these will get one of them back. But that's fine. It means if you're playing 4 Electro Power and 4 Electric Charger, you should expect to essentially be playing 8 Electro Power, which means an extra 240 damage during the course of the game. Do you need more than that? There will be turns where you flip double tails and that's going to suck. There will be turns you flip double heads and that's amazing. But let's go for the average here, whereby you should be hitting 1 head per Electric Charger. It just means you get to reuse an Electro Power. Yes, it goes into your deck and you're going to have to draw it later. I don't particularly care, because you're still going to be able to draw it later and that's fine. Yeah, you're only going to be getting 1, but it's like you can play 8 Electro Power. The only awkward thing as far as I'm concerned is, it's kind of like an extra 4 Electro Power, except you draw it, and then you've got to draw Electro Power, so you kind of got to draw 1 card, then draw another one later. That's a little bit awkward. So I don't think Electric Charger is good for having Electro Power this turn, but I do think it's good for having 4 more throughout the game. And look, it's not as good as Ampharos GX. We looked at Ampharos GX, which the first attack takes them all out of the discard in 1 and puts them into your hand. And clearly, right, Ampharos's attack is over the top. Clearly, Ampharos's attack is better than this. I'm not arguing that, and I don't think you should be arguing that. It gets all 4 back to immediately reuse. Okay. That doesn't mean that Electric Power isn't good. Honestly, if you're playing an Ampharos GX deck, I don't think you're probably going to play Electric Charger here. I don't see why you would. You'll just play Electro Power and reuse them with Ampharos. But if you're playing other Lightning decks, it's great. So let's say you're playing a Zera Aura deck, for instance. Now, Zera Aura does 160 for free energy, but sometimes you're up against something like a Zoroark, and you need to have 2 extra lots of damage, Choice Band or Electro Power, to get from 160 to 220 and get the KO. Well, surely in a situation like that, Electric Charger is going to be necessary, because you basically need a Choice Band and an Electro Power or 2 Electro Power every turn to KO the Zoroark. In that regard, I love it. This is not an every deck kind of card. It is a card that some Lightning decks are going to love. If you're playing a Lightning deck that's revolving around basics like Zera Aura, and you've got a whole bunch of space in your deck, this is amazing. If you're playing an Ampharos deck, you're probably not going to be playing this, because you can recover them better with your attack. If you can somehow find a way to make Alolan Golem work, you're still probably not going to be playing this, because if you're playing a Stage 2, the chances that you're actually going to be able to find space for 4 Electro Power and 4 Electric Charger are basically 0. It's not an every Lightning deck card. But there will be some decks that will love this. And essentially, on average, it's take that amazing item card and shuffle it back into your deck. I am absolutely down with that, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got space and you like Electric Power, i.e., you're a Lightning deck, then you absolutely should be playing this, unless it's Ampharos and you've got better options. And between these cards and Thunder Mountain, it reduces the attack cost by 1. Zera Aura that gives free retreat if you've got lightning energy attached. Tapu Koko that you put in the Lost Zone from the bench and then attach 2 basic energy, 1 to each of 2 bench Pokemon. I mean, it is a good time to be wanting to play a Lightning deck right now. As for Electric Charger, I'm going to give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. I do think it's a phenomenal card, but I don't think it's a kind of card that's going to see play even in every Lightning deck. You've got to have room for it. A lot of decks will play 4 Electro Power, and that's all they'll have room for. But if you're playing a Lightning deck and you've got the room, it's stunning. So there we go. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I want to hear from you guys now. I want to know what you think about this card. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do so. And do make sure that you are checking out Wasi Plays. The Transformers TCG has just come out, and I'm making videos about it, and it's great. There's a video about how to play it, so if nothing else, I'd check out that one. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.